Welcome to this explainer. We explore a lot of fascinating and complex topics on this show, but today we're doing something a little bit different. Our source material isn't about data points or historical events, it's about the deeply personal spiritual experience of a quiet return to Allah. And I want to frame this right out of the gate. Out of the billions of people on this planet, out of the endless stream of content you could literally be swiping through right now, the text we're analyzing argues that this specific reminder found you at this exact moment for a reason. It suggests that this isn't random. It's a highly intentional act of mercy.
Which brings us right to the very first quote from the text. Right now, in this exact moment, because nothing reaches your ears without the permission of Allah. What the creator of this message is doing here is absolutely brilliant. They are creating a profound sense of immediacy. This message isn't meant to be bookmarked for tomorrow. It's not for some hypothetical future date when your life magically calms down, because let's be real, does it ever? No, it's meant for tonight. It is designed to meet you exactly where you are, right in the middle of whatever exhaustion you might be feeling.
And speaking of exhaustion, the source material begins by deeply empathizing with the heavy, silent battles that so many of us fight every single day. It completely validates the drain of having to smile around people when your heart just feels incredibly heavy inside, or laughing in conversations while your mind is battling thoughts that literally nobody else knows about. It talks about lying awake at 2 a.m., endlessly replaying your mistakes, questioning your own worth. The author perfectly captures that quiet, hidden exhaustion of just wondering, why does life have to feel so overwhelmingly difficult all the time?
But then, the narrative completely shifts. While you might have felt utterly alone in those silent struggles, the text brings us to a really profound revelation. Through every single one of those silent battles, Allah has never once taken His eyes off you. You felt alone, sure, but you were constantly being watched over. You were seen.
The text then asks us to completely reframe our own survival. We usually view our darkest moments as simply falling apart alone in the dark. But the source offers a completely different perspective. That was Allah holding your heart together. Think about it. Think about those heartbreaks or challenges that you were absolutely certain would destroy you, but somehow they didn't. You survived moments you thought would break you forever. The source argues that this wasn't just your own resilience. It wasn't just you gritting your teeth. That was divine support. That was your creator holding your heart together while you felt like you were falling apart.
And it builds on this by detailing a continuous, unseen protection happening every single day, even on the days you feel completely distant from your faith. Every breath you took today was provided. Dangers you never even knew existed were kept far away from you. The text emphasizes that He heard the quiet du'as you made when nobody else was around, and He saw the tears you wiped away before anyone could even notice. Despite feeling flawed or sinful or just completely disconnected, you were still woken up today. You were fed, you were protected.
Which naturally leads to a really powerful, heavy question. How could Allah still forgive someone like me? The text addresses this head-on. It talks about the heavy guilt of having weak iman, the shame of inconsistent salah, and the absolute frustration of falling into the exact same repeated sins. You know the feeling, right? It's the exact whisper of doubt that Shaitan uses to convince people they are simply too far gone to ever make a return.
But the text dismantles that doubt instantly with this incredibly clear statement. Allah does not ask you to be perfect. He only asks you to return sincerely. The source material is very explicit here. There are people who were drowning in sin who still found their way back. Why? Because divine mercy is always greater than every mistake. It is greater than every addiction, greater than every regret, and greater than every single night you delayed your repentance. As long as your heart feels something, the door is absolutely not closed.
And this brings us to what might be the most powerful reframe in the entire text. What our human interpretation calls a painful rejection or an annoying delay, the divine reality calls mercy and perfect timing. The text beautifully illustrates that sometimes closed doors are actually your protection. You might have cried your eyes out over something that didn't work out, completely unaware that whatever was behind that door would have eventually destroyed you.
So the whole idea is anchored in this quote. His wisdom reaches places your understanding never could. It operates entirely beyond human sight. It's like looking at a massive puzzle when you only hold one piece. Sometimes what you desperately want is removed because your creator sees what you cannot see. And the author suggests something deeply inspiring here. Looking back, one day you might realize that tonight, this very moment, was the turning point, the exact moment your heart softened and you finally stopped running away. Because here is a fundamental truth presented in our source. The dunya, the worldly life, was never actually meant to fully satisfy you. If you've been feeling this unexplainable emptiness despite the constant noise of the world, well, this is exactly why. Your soul was intricately designed to be connected to its creator. When that connection is missing, literally nothing else in the world will ever truly fill the void. Now, if you take nothing else away from this explainer, please hear this. You do not need to fix your entire life tonight. This is absolutely crucial. The text deliberately relieves the immense pressure that keeps so many people frozen and away from their faith. It completely deconstructs the toxic myth of overnight perfection. Islam, according to the source, was never about becoming flawless in 24 hours. It is simply about taking small, sincere steps. The source heavily emphasizes that small, sincere deeds are incredibly beloved. It outlines simple steps like praying 2 rak'ah with your full heart or making just one truly honest dua. It's just asking for forgiveness with genuine tears in your eyes, walking away from just one sin that you know is darkening your heart, or forgiving someone else for the sake of Allah. You don't have to tackle the whole shebang at once. Taking just one of these small, sincere steps can slowly and completely transform your entire life.
The text then leaves us with this stark, beautiful reassurance. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not invisible. Even when you feel completely unnoticed on this massive earth, the text reassures us that your name is known in the heavens. Your story is actively being written, and incredibly, mercy is already ahead of you, just waiting for you to make your return.
Okay, so how does the text suggest we actually put this into practice? It outlines 3 exact, highly practical steps to help you connect tonight. Step 1. Just sit in silence for a moment. Step 2. Put your phone down. Yes, I know it's hard, but let the overwhelming noise of the dunya completely fade away. And Step 3. Speak to Allah honestly.
And regarding that honesty, the text clarifies it with his great quote, not with fancy words, not with perfection, just honesty. You don't need a scripted, perfectly eloquent prayer. Just admit that you're tired. Admit that you are scared. Tell him that your heart needs healing. You are speaking directly to the Lord who guided you to this very reminder, and he is the exact same Lord who can heal every single wound inside you. The text promises a profound transformation if you just walk forward with a little bit of hope. The same Creator who effortlessly turns the pitch-black darkness of the night into the bright light of the morning, he can take your heavy state of confusion, sadness, weakness, and sins and completely transform it into clarity, peace, immense strength, and complete forgiveness.
Which leaves us with this final, profound thought to consider as we wrap up. The text invites you to sleep tonight knowing you are being called back. But tomorrow, when you open your eyes, will you wake up believing that the Creator of the stars is gently guiding you through your darkness? It's a really powerful question, isn't it? It's an invitation to continue your spiritual return, one small, sincere step at a time. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep seeking, and I'll catch you next time.